Having a 5 and 7-year-old, it is very important to teach the soft skills. I think that's something that my generation and the generation underneath me have lost, just the ability to shake someone's hand and make eye contact, speak, look at them when they're speaking. You talk to a child and they're like this, hi, and they're down. We don't have phones. Even dad's on call 24/7. But my phone has to be on an island. Our kids don't have phones, but no electronics at the table. We implement board night, so we're not, on a screen, because I think we have lost a sense of community. I'm guilty of it too, because it's convenient, and obviously just my line of work has forced me to look at it more. We took screens away from our kids for almost 3 weeks. The amount of creativity that a 5 and 7-year-old had was so beautiful, and it just made me sit still, because they're building paper airplanes, they're piling the laundry baskets up, they're building tents with blankets. And this is stuff I did as a kid, but I didn't share this with my boys, but they didn't have a choice. They're outside on the trampoline, they're outside on the basketball goal, they're running hills outside. It was such a beautiful thing. And then it's funny because I joke and say my kids are spoiled, and you spend I think a lot of times parents, we give our kids things we didn't have, and for me trying to give them knowledge that I didn't have, but taking away the PlayStation and Nintendo and Netflix, my kids were more in tune with how mom and dad felt. We have a rule that when dad comes home from work, my boys greet me and we do our thing, but it was different. My boys weren't hugging me and sprinting. They were hugging me and holding me. And I think it's a direct correlation, because you're more in tune with all the energy around you, and it's not on YouTube, it's not on Netflix, it wasn't. And so that was really neat. As far as the kids that I mentor and stuff, it is whatever's on that phone can wait, But it's I gotta like it first, I gotta share it first. I have to see it and repost it first. It's almost like the approval, I think it's so hard to compete with, because you have a lot of 2-parent working homes now. And so people are busy and kids are home alone and they need a phone for emergency. And so there's so many ways to justify why you have this thing or that thing. And I think the sense of community has to start in the home. Your kids have to understand that when mom and dad are here, when mom's home, we're to look mom in the eye and have a conversation, because instead of talking to mom and dad about how we feel, we might be texting a complete stranger. And I think that happens because it's instant. I tell mom I feel this way, and now mom got called in for an extra shift. So I'm home alone, or my aunt's coming over, or I'm going to my cousin's. And so you have this person that's there kind of at your fingertips. And I think a lot of times that's what happens, that immediate gratification of getting a response or getting validation for feeling a certain way. And a lot of times it's a negative. You have a lot of kids that are so easy to pour into us negatively. And I see that with a lot of kids. You get more attention when you share something that's inappropriate or negative, versus sharing really how you feel. And then you get kids who are sharing things about their feelings, but they're not real. They're sharing it for attention. And so even those kids get overlooked, because they're seeking attention, but there's something underneath that. And I just think that the sense of community is, especially for the younger generation, is on social media. And I think until you implement things in your home, and not just as a punishment, but hey, we want to have these family values. I think it's important. I would have died to have a board game night with my family. My boys, the first night, they weren't big fans until we opened it, and then until they seen wow, daddy and mommy are so competitive. This is just like we're watching a football game. And then we're creating a memory. There's no TV on. There's no, we're just here. When you create that memory, I think, and my boys, even last night, we're eating dinner, and I said, hey, you guys want to watch a movie? And my 5-year-old was like, no, let's play a board game. And so, again, because they know they had this feeling. And some kids they haven't even experienced You know, like I didn't eat dinner at a table until I was in 11th grade. I had never sat at a dinner table and ate a formal meal. When I was at my buddy Nick Johnson's house and his dad, I'm sitting at the table, you know, I'm like, wow, this is cool, man. They're about to serve us on plates. I've only eaten on a paper plate. And his dad was like, Zach, how's your day? Never had that happen. Not that my grandparents didn't care. That's just not how we went about doing things. But I knew from that time that that's what I want for my kids. I want them to sit at this table with their pops and me to just say, what's going on, man? How was class? Let's talk through it, you know? This time is for family, and we're gonna work through, put everything on the table, we're gonna work through it together. I knew when I was in 11th grade, when Mr. Greg Johnson asked me, how was I doing? This is what I want when I have a family, you know? And so I think you have to create the community in your home. If you're expecting the world to teach your kid a sense of community, you're lost. As parents, guardians, mentors, leaders, you have to be intentional about teaching soft skills and community internally, and so that when they leave us, they go grow it somewhere else. Because if you have a kid that's outnumbered, a kid that they were afforded all these opportunities, they get around 10 kids that weren't, they're not gonna stand up to that. No, we'll just play on the phone, it's cool, you know, we'll just, you know, get on the video game. The kids that my son is around, their families, there's a good balance. I think everyone, you know, all the research out there, everyone's trying to get in front of it now. So I think these younger kids have an opportunity, they have a chance to really change the dynamic. But you just gotta be intentional. And it is easy to be lazy, I promise you, because after riding that high of, this sense of community, 2 days I was exhausted, just left the gym. I got home and I'm like, Zion's like, Dad, can I play the game? And I'm like, yeah, go ahead. You know, after I told myself, hey, we're gonna do it without a month, and it lasted 3 weeks. As parents, you can't get tired because it's good work and it's rewarding. So I think being intentional and definitely working through the days where it's just easy to just slide the tablet across the table.